Well, good morning, Quirky Birders. It's Lynn here, and it's time for episode 3 of your daily art challenge. So, we finished our last session by putting in all of these little colourful raindrops, again, just working with the rainbow colours. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to enhance the design ever so slightly and just improve on the underpainting. So I'm going to start with his legs to begin with, and I'm going to use just a very small size 1 brush. I'm going to use the colour blue, and all I'm going to do is just then manipulate a little bit of blue into his legs. So what we can do is we can come down to the tip of the toes, and around his feet. We can put a little bit of shading around the knee. And we'll just soften that off ever so slightly. There we go. Now I have just made a little blob of water there, so let's just lift that up. There you go. And we'll do the same on the other leg. We'll come around the top of his knee. And then we can also do his little toes as well. Again, just wet that brush and just manipulate that paint. There we go. We can use a little bit of the blue on that darker green. And we'll also bring it around into his tummy as well. There we go. And then let's just mute and soften around the mouth. We'll just bring a little bit of that blue around the mouth onto the yellow. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the colour purple. And what I'm going to do with the colour purple is we're just going to put some little dots of colour onto our little frog. You can take the colour over the eye. And then let's bring some of the purple just down to one side. And we'll do the same on the other side. Again, just those little dots of colour just over his eye, like little freckles. And then we'll take some underneath again as well. And then what you can do is again just wet your brush. And what we'll do is we'll just lighten those little spots up ever so slightly. You can make them a little bit bigger in places. And then just dry your brush off as you go. And you'll just end up with this lovely sort of faded effect of the spots. So a little bit of water. dry your brush off. Let's just lift away. There we go. And we'll just repeat this process. So a little bit of water applied to your dots. And then just dry your brush off. And then just lift away. Do down this side now. And dry the brush off, and then let's just lift away. And you're just left with this lovely texture. Again, the process is a mindful one. So just take your time and just let the paint just do its thing. So I'll just put a little bit of water on these centre ones here. And dry the brush off. And then we can just lift away. Let's do a little bit of the colour over the top of his eye as well. The water just softens the edge of the little dots. It just creates that really nice texture. So we can bring some over his knees as well. So I'll just pop some little dots over his knees. And we'll same for his toes. And we'll bring some smaller ones up the front of the shin. And then again, just the water and the lift off technique, just to change and soften those little spots. We'll do the same again on the other side. Come down his shin again. Onto the toe. And then let's just do a little bit of the water, just to soften them ever so slightly. We'll put couple of little dots down his legs. So we've got the purple, and then you can just interject a little bit of the grey, and just use your grey as a little bit of shading. So we'll do a couple of little grey spots, not too many. I'll add a little bit to the leg. Put a little bit of the grey on the opposite leg. Now at this point, everybody's paintings are going to be looking a little bit different. Your paint is going to be reacting a little bit differently. You've got your strength of colours are going to differ. So the important thing about this process, when you're just using the grey as your shading, is just to remember to look up. Look up and look away from your design, just so you can see where you need to add some strength of colour, a little bit more depth of colour. I'm going to put a little bit more of the stronger blue onto that lily pad. I'll bring a sweet brown from the side. There we go. I'll put a little bit of the green in as well, just to intensify that colour. Come around the edge. There we go. Okay. Now he's really looking really bright and chirpy. I'm really quite pleased with how he's looking at the moment. So what we now need to do is, as far as the painting of our little frog is concerned, I think he's pretty much finished. And we just need to let him dry. And then we'll come back and we'll finish the ink details. So we'll leave the video finished here at this point, and I do hope you're enjoying the process of painting this little character, and I'll be back again tomorrow for the fine liner details. Enjoy your painting now. Goodbye.